NASCAR just signed a $7.7 billion television deal. Executives are calling it historic. Two men who spent their entire careers inside this sport are calling it something else, a sinking ship. And nobody in the garage is willing to say it out loud. Here's the breakdown. 7 years, 6 different networks, $1.1 billion a year on average. That's the new media rights agreement NASCAR just locked in, built under former NASCAR president Steve Phelps and former CEO Jim France. On paper, it's the biggest television contract in the sport's history. But former Cup Series driver Jeremy Mayfield and longtime crew chief veteran Darrell Andrews are buying the celebration. Both spent decades on the inside. Mayfield behind the wheel for organizations like Roger Penske and Ray Evernham. Andrews turning wrenches for Junior Johnson for close to 20 years. Their concern isn't the size of the check. It's what's supposed to be holding that number up. To land this deal, NASCAR split its 38 Cup Series races across 6 platforms. Fox and FS1 get a chunk. NBC and USA Network get another. Amazon takes a slice. TNT and Max take the rest. Out of 38 total races, only 9 remain on traditional over-the-air broadcast television. That means the average fan now needs a cable package, a live TV subscription, Amazon Prime, and a Max subscription just to follow one full season. Stack that up, and you're looking at well over $100 a month before a single lap is turned. This isn't a hypothetical problem. According to figures cited by the insiders, when races shifted behind paywalls in year one, viewership fell somewhere between 12 and 15% compared to what those same events drew on broadcast. That's not a rounding error. That's a warning sign. Let's talk about why this actually matters long term, because this goes way beyond ratings charts. Television money in sports has never really been about eyeballs on a Sunday afternoon. It's about proof of eyeballs, proof that sponsors can show their boardrooms that spending money on a car, a driver, or a broadcast actually reaches people. When you fragment a season across 6 different platforms, you don't just inconvenience fans. You make it mathematically harder for any one network to prove consistent audience size. A casual fan who has to choose between 5 platforms across the season isn't going to chase all 5, they're going to drop off. And once viewership softens, the entire financial chain reacts. Sponsors don't fund broadcasts, they fund the tension. If the tension drops, sponsors start asking why they're paying premium rates for a shrinking audience. When sponsors pull back, that pressure doesn't stay in a boardroom. It lands directly on race teams who depend on that sponsorship money to fund cars, staff, and race weekends. Now layer in the on-track product itself. Mayfield and Andrews pointed to Bristol Motor Speedway as the clearest symbol of the bigger problem. Bristol used to be the single hardest ticket in the sport, a sold-out 160,000-seat concrete bowl where fans would rather be than at the Masters. That track has since been reconfigured with multiple racing lanes, and NASCAR now applies a traction compound to the surface just to manufacture grip. The racing itself no longer creates naturally. In other words, the sport is chemically engineering excitement instead of generating it through competition. So here's the real question this deal raises. Is NASCAR selling a product that's genuinely growing, or is it selling 7 years of optimism on top of a fan base that's already walking away? A television contract can guarantee revenue on paper. It cannot guarantee that people actually watch. And if the underlying product, the racing, the access, the experience keeps eroding, that 11-figure number becomes a countdown clock instead of a victory lap. Fans are already split, and you can see it in real time online. One side says NASCAR finally got paid what it's worth, and that any deal of this size is a win for the sport's long-term stability. The other side says NASCAR just made itself harder to watch, more expensive to follow, and less exciting to attend, all while pretending $7.7 billion fixes any of that. Media insiders are more cautious than the press releases suggest. When 2 industry veterans go public and say people around the sport are afraid to speak up, that's not typical off-season noise. That's a signal something deeper is being felt inside the garage. So where does this actually go? 2 paths. Best case scenario, NASCAR uses this massive influx of cash to genuinely fix the product, building schedule stability, protecting marquee tracks like Bristol, and streamlining the streaming fragmentation so fans are juggling 5 apps. Viewership stabilizes, sponsors stay confident, and the deal age isn't the smartest bet in the sport's history. Worst case scenario, the fragmentation keeps pushing casual fans away, ratings keep sliding year over year. Sponsors quietly renegotiate or exit. And halfway through this 7-year contract, NASCAR is stuck honoring a historic price tag for an audience that's already left the building. So here's the real question. Did NASCAR just secure its financial future, or did it just gamble 7 years on a fan base that's already checking out? Drop your take in the comments. Are you one of the fans still all in on NASCAR, or have you already started tuning out? If you want the real story behind the numbers the press releases won't tell you, make sure you're subscribed to SportsWire USA, because we're not done digging into this one.